I had difficulty accepting my introversion. I couldn't accept that I was sometimes the quieter one in the group, the one who wanted to leave early despite having fun, the one who felt exhausted after socializing and needed alone time to recover. I wasn't the girl who walked into a room and talked to everyone, the one with a loud laugh that charmed every person. I never cracked the jokes during lunch at work, and I wasn't particularly excited about Christmas parties. I wasn't the one who was friends with everyone, or the one who everyone wanted to be friends with either, for that matter. I'm sure I, at times, have come across as being boring or looking bored. I was often left wondering if I was the only one who fantasized about getting back home, changing into PJs, lighting some candles, cuddling up on the couch with a blanket to read a book. We've all, at some point, had a hard time accepting parts of ourselves, a behavior or trait, and for a long time that was introversion for me. But a lot has changed with this channel. Specifically 4 years ago when I made a video called A Real Day in the Life of an Introvert. A video that went absolutely viral back when virality was a thing, and that currently has over 12,000 comments, mainly from people relating. For the first time, probably ever, I felt understood, like actually understood. I felt seen. Now, I had obviously known that a lot of people were introverts, you know, it wasn't a rare thing at all. But to have so many people essentially say, hey, I view the world the same way that you do, it changed something in me. A video on YouTube sort of became a pillar of my self-acceptance journey. So, thank you. I've learned quite a lot about introversion. I've learned that when you're young and you're thinking about what you want to do, you know, with your life, it's important not just to think about what sounds fun and exciting or like it could make good money. Because if that job requires a lot of extroverting, you might end up quite miserable. Yes, all jobs require us to step out of our comfort zone, to grow, to discover parts of ourselves, and to an extent, to put on an act, like the salesperson's voice. But there's a difference between there are parts of this that will be challenging and I'll have to adapt, and this place makes me feel like an alien who has landed on the wrong planet. You don't want to put yourself in environments where you are doomed to be miserable. But Lana, you're making videos for thousands of people to see. You're not an introvert. You must have misunderstood. The majority of my time is spent thinking, reading, writing, filming, and editing all by myself, either at home, at a cafe, or at a library. Sounds like the introvert heaven to me. Learn your limits. Regardless of how much fun I'm having and how much I'm enjoying the company, communicate those limits. Let your friends and whoever you spend a lot of time with know how to have a relationship with you. You know, no one should need to try to figure you out, and they sure can't read minds. Don't try to be who you're not. I'll never be the girl who walks into that room and charms everyone. I don't have, you know, the soft, high-pitched voice that some people associate with being nice and sweet. I sound kind of monotone, which is news to no one if you've been here for a while. I feel like, especially as women, we're supposed to be bubbly, right? Like a small ray of sunshine. And so I used to not really like this about myself. But now I don't dislike it or like it. It just is, and I never think about it. And I don't try to be someone I'm not. And I have found peace that way. But also, don't use your introversion as a security blanket. Everyone has their social challenges. Some people are anxious, some people hate their teeth. Introvert or not, you need to make as much effort as anyone else to maintain friendships and relationships. Everyone does, despite their own personal challenges and limitations. You know, introversion isn't like a disease or a sickness or a diagnosis. It doesn't mean that it's okay to bail on plans or not even show up because you ran out of social batteries. And it's also not an excuse to not learn social skills, to lack confidence, or to not advance at work, or to limit yourself in any capacity, really. I encourage anyone to just not let these terms make their world smaller. Use them to make your world bigger, more exciting. Like, wow, you're learning about yourself, which means more doors should open for you and not the other way around. So get to know yourself and don't run away from what you find. Don't self-isolate. I think that if you feel the urge or the need to self-isolate, there's probably something more going on than you just being introverted. So if you notice yourself falling into that, you might want to do a bit more digging to see what's really going on. As humans, it doesn't come naturally to us to want to be all by ourselves. Introvert or not, we need people. Don't generalize. I know, there is a stereotype, just like there is for basically everything. But in case it needs to be said, not all introverts are wallflowers or socially awkward. For many of us, you wouldn't even know. Going back to what I said earlier, the person who charms everyone could absolutely be introverted. The person who cracks all the jokes might be too. There's no box, no checklist, just a broad range of very different people who have at least one thing in common. How would you define what that one thing is? Because I feel like I'm actually having a hard time. Leave a comment down below. I want to end this by saying to you and to my younger self, embrace your way of being. We can't all be the same. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to complete each other, I believe, to create harmony in the world amongst one another. We can't all be great speakers. We need great listeners. We can't all be sales and marketing people. We need the niche guys and girls who can sit in the lab alone for hours. We're all needed because we all add value in our own little way.